All right. Hello and welcome to Hanging Out with Bob, podcast hosted by me, Bob at Home. Thanks for joining us, and let's get started. Hanging Out with Bob is a podcast where guests tell us their stories, where they grew up, where they've lived since then, what they're doing now, which kinds of shows they stream, which kinds of books they read, which teams they cheer for, kind of music they like to listen to, and so on and so on and so on. And the more laughs we have as our guests share their lives, their stories with us, the better. Okay, so let me introduce my guest today. He's Wayne Damrow, a friend and former classmate that I've known since we were both 9 years old. And we're a heck of a lot older now than, aren't we, Wayne? Thanks for joining us, though, Wayne. Good to have you here.
Sure, glad to be here, Bob.
Wayne Damrow, and for those of you writing this down at home, his last name is spelled D-A-M-E-R-O-W. That's Italian, right?
German all the way.
Okay. Wayne and I have known each other for more than 62 years. I mean, John F. Kennedy was president of the United States then, back in the early 1960s. Wayne lived just six houses up the block from me on Chatham Road in Columbia Heights, Minnesota. And anyone from Columbia Heights, of course, usually shorten the name of our town to just the Heights.
The Heights.
Anyway, it was summertime 1962, and we probably met by playing baseball at the local park, Hilltop Park. That's a park where the kids in our neighborhood played baseball and football, pickup games, of course. We skated there, too, in the winter when the city park board would flood the rink. And Wayne and I, we went to the same grade school, Highland, the same junior high school, Columbia, and the same senior high school, Columbia Heights. We're Highlanders. We even went to the same community college the first year after high school, Anoka Ramsey, or AR, in the northern suburb of Coon Rapids. And not to get too anal retentive, but when Wayne and I went to Anoka Ramsey, AR, it was still called a junior college, not a community college like it is today. But Wayne and I really didn't see much of each other after that year at Anoka Ramsey. He transferred to the University of Minnesota St. Paul campus the next year, while I finished my second year at Anoka Ramsey and then transferred to the University of Minnesota on the East and West Bank campuses in Minneapolis. I remember seeing Wayne at a couple of our high school reunions. I think it was the 10th and the 20th, but really not too many times from then, from say the late 1970s until the 2010s. We reconnected, if that's the right word, about a dozen years ago, and since then we've managed to keep in touch every 6 months or so, maybe a year, usually for lunch somewhere on a Saturday afternoon to catch up on things, maybe talk about Minnesota sports and solve all the world's problems. And that's been a good thing. If we hadn't reconnected more than a decade ago, we probably wouldn't be doing this podcast right now, Wayne, right?
Right.
All right, so now I'm going to step back for a few moments, and I'm going to let my guest, Wayne Damrow, tell us a little bit about himself. Oh, wait, sorry, Wayne. I mentioned how the kids in our neighborhood used to ice skate at the local park when we were kids. Well, here's a lame joke. Why did the ice skater go to the party?
I don't know that.
To break the ice. You want me to tell it again?
Yeah, pretty deep.
So with that, Wayne, please take it away.
Well, you mentioned Anoka Ramsey, and I'll never forget commuting with your car. It was a Volkswagen
Carmen Ghia.
Carmen Ghia. The worst car
Piece
ever.
of crap, yes.
Oh, my
That's
God.
where I learned to swear really well. I got a lot of practice.
That was funny. I also had one school that I don't think you went to, Silver Lake Elementary.
Oh, right. Yeah, that was before I moved up here
Yeah, and that
from
was
Minneapolis.
first through third grade that I went there, and then to Highland.
Yep.
So that was all the school history. As far as since then, I graduated with a degree in forest management in 1975 and got on with the state and spent 37 years and 2 months with the state.
Nice long career.
Yeah, it really was. And a job I really liked.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
let's see. As far as work, where I went, because it was the type of job that if you wanted to move up, you moved. It wasn't required, but then you'd just stay in place.
Sure. What were some of the places?
Started out in Willow River. Nobody's heard of Willow River.
Where is that? I don't know where that is.
You know where Moose Lake is?
I've heard of Moose Lake, yeah.
Okay, it's about 10 miles south of Moose Lake.
Ah, okay.
Parallel on Highway 61 with 35 and
Okay.
you get off.
Yeah.
Anyway, so there I was the nursery assistant superintendent. So we grew something like 6-8 million trees a year.
Wow.
They still do.
Yeah.
And then from there I went to Alexandria, where I worked with private landowners for
Alex.
about 5 years. And then got promoted to assistant area supervisor in Cambridge for 5 years. And that was a time when there was great amount of fire. So we were working 80-hour weeks.
Wow.
It was not unlike out west. Only,
Yeah.
Only localized.
Right. Right.
So then from there, Cambridge to Brainerd as the supervisor, and was there for 14 years.
Wow.
Probably
okay.
my favorite place where I worked.
Brainerd?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's beautiful anyway. You're by lakes.
Yeah, and I had a pretty neat house on a marsh about 5 miles west of Brainerd. So
Okay.
easy commute, and
Yeah.
it was good. And then ended up in St. Paul to finish my career as assistant director. So
Okay.
a lot of moving around, but it never seemed hard because there was enough time between
Yeah.
them.
When did you? I can't remember if when we were going to Anoka Ramsey, if you knew then you wanted to major in forestry. But what made you decide to do that? What?
A friend of mine was going into it, and he was a urban, because I'd always thought, well, I'm from Columbia Heights.
Yeah.
Forestry? What?
Right. Right.
And he was also a big city kid. And then there was another guy we both knew, Tom Tomchek. He
I
also
remember
got
the
a
name.
degree
He's a
in
nice boy.
forestry.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, kind of a surprise.
Huh.
And so we ended up going into forestry. And
Okay.
so I said, I'll give it a year and see if I like it. And the first thing we had to do was go to Itasca State Park for 4 weeks and
Wow.
get some field work in and get introduced to forestry. And so I found I really liked it, and so
Yeah.
continued on.
Wow. Good long career with the DNR then.
Yeah. Yep.
And all those years of working, did you ever wear a suit and tie?
The last one.
The last one,
Yeah,
okay.
as
Because they
assistant
figured
director.
being outside, looking like that ranger, like in Yogi Bear cartoons.
Sure. No, we had uniforms that we wore
Yep.
up until about Brainerd, when I was probably half-time uniform, and then St. Paul was all suit and tie. And
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks, Wayne. All right. Now that Wayne's told us a little bit about himself, I want him to talk a little bit more about the neighborhood where we lived. What were the things that you remember most about growing up there? Talk about the places where you like to hang out, where you'd go swimming in the summertime, or skied or toboggan in the winter. Talk about the sports you played as a kid, and I know you played some instruments growing up, but just talk a little bit about that too.
Okay. First of all, I should say, too, I am married and no kids, to finish my introduction.
Okay, thanks.
Let's see. Growing up, my parents were in the same house for 60 years. And not unlike yours. I mean, we were 5 houses apart, 5 or 6.
6 houses. I counted it when I drove by a couple weeks ago.
I hated guarding you in basketball because you were left-handed. Tough to stop. He had a hook shot that couldn't be beat. But anyways, as far as sports in high school, very limited. I was on the swimming team as a diver for 1 year.
You were on the first swimming team at Heights, right?
Yes.
It's because they just built the pool like in 68.
Right.
And then when we were sophomores, it was 68, 69. So that was the first.
And I could swim, but not well.
Yeah, well,
So anyways, I gave it 1 year and then said, no, that's not for me.
a little bit of baseball.
A little bit of baseball.
Yep.
But overall, no, it was graduate and move on.
Yep. You did play an instrument. Talk a little bit about that, though. You played the trombone, right?
Yep.
And you
Good.
you could play bass guitar, too, couldn't you?
Yeah,
remember you
I had a bass guitar, was in a band for a brief
Yeah,
time.
yeah,
And,
yeah.
So,
Well, in fact, you and your brother Al both played trombones, didn't you?
yeah, and he was better than me.
Okay.
Just like in sports, for some reason, he was very athletic inclined. He went to state in tennis.
I did not know that.
Yeah, oh yeah.
What was he, this class of 76?
6.
Okay,
yep.
okay.
Yeah, he was really good in
I
tennis.
did not know that.
Yep,
Okay.
went to state in doubles. And then also he was a heck of a bowler. He was on the University of Minnesota bowling team.
Wow.
They went to the Nationals in Vegas.
Okay.
And, he just so really good. I'm fair.
Yeah. And really smart. I will say Wayne was always a really good student and really smart. He just he uses his brains. So okay.
As far as local, did you go fishing with me?
No.
To Peck's Lake?
I unfortunately I was not a fisher person, but
Neither
I'm
was
sure
my
you did fish with others. But yeah, there was a lake near us, Highland Lake or Peck's Lake, we called it. You get bullheads.
Yeah, that's all we could catch is bullheads.
It was like a glorified swamp, is what it was.
Sure.
I mean, you couldn't put a boat on there, or like a
People
motor
dumped.
boat or anything. But it was pretty. It's pretty
Yeah.
in the summertime and that stuff. But yeah, okay, all right, great.
So that's pretty much it. I mean, I was in the house till I was 18, and
Yep.
it's still there, and my brother's son lives there.
Yeah, right. You kept
So-
the house in the family name, so to speak. So yeah, that's great. It looks great. I've driven by it, when I go up Chatham Road, and I can see that they put the new siding on a couple
New
years ago.
roof.
It looks very nice.
Yeah,
Very
it's-
nice.
It is.
I want to follow up a little bit more on our old neighborhood again. I've mentioned in a previous podcast that the neighborhood we grew up in was literally a golf course until the mid-1940s. Some of the street names there kind of give it away. Golf Place, Heights Drive, Fairway Drive. Do you remember how old you were when you first learned that our neighborhood was a golf course? And what kinds of things do you remember reading or hearing about the old Hilltop Golf Course?
Chet Ladwick lived next door. He's
Right.
since passed on, but he
Right.
was an excellent amateur golfer.
Right.
And he used to talk a little bit about golfing there. And then he bought a house next to mine, and so
Right.
got a chance. His son also is an excellent golfer.
Yep. Doug. Yeah. I
Yeah,
remember
Doug.
that, yeah.
And did we ever figure out where the clubhouse was?
Well,
I know we talked about
I know on the corner of 45th and Chatham, there's a big house, and we knew a family that lived there growing up. But right across the street from there, I believe that's where the clubhouse was, where people would go in and get their ticket, to play 18 holes and that stuff. But the clubhouse had to be right near that house or next to it. I think I read somewhere that was sort of like a manager's house or something, where that house
be.
is now. But that's where you kind of started and finished, right in that area
Right.
there. So
Yeah, I remember my grandmother being really angry with my parents when they bought the house because it was so far out in the country.
Columbia Heights.
Yeah.
Right.
And I can remember her getting into an argument with them about that.
But for the listeners who aren't from the Twin Cities or where we grew up, Columbia Heights is right next to Northeast Minneapolis. Yeah. And, to get to downtown from Columbia Heights is maybe 4 or 5 miles. But when you're a little kid or you lived in the city, it's like you might as well say you lived in St. Cloud, that far away. It's a first tier suburb. It's right there, so that's amazing. Just for our listeners, you were telling me something about golf balls that they pulled out of the reservoir next to it or something, or what was the deal with the golf balls? Just dozens and dozens or hundreds.
Thousands.
Well, okay. Well, what was this now?
It was the waterworks.
Okay.
See,
okay.
That dates back to the
Right.
time of the golf course.
Right.
And they had to. It was having clogging problems, I guess. And so my parents, I don't remember because I was so young, but my parents would say, "Yeah, we saw him pull out a semi-load of balls."
If I were that semi driver, I would have had fun selling them off the side of the road or something. Oh, that's amazing! It's amazing.
And we used to bike down from our house to Central Avenue to the Heights Theater.
Sure.
I saw Hard Day's Night. I remember that.
Yep. Our
So
local movie theater.
That dates us.
Yep. And Danielson Drugs was on the corner there,
Yep.
40th and Central. And that's it. Well, and then you mentioned Chet Ladwick, his shoe store was on the corner
Chet's
of 40th
Shoes.
and Chet Shoes. They're still around. There's
Yep.
one in the Heights, and then there's one out in Coon Rapids, I think.
there's
or-
4 or 5.
Yeah, he kept it in the family, so Chet Shoes. Okay, the name of the podcast again, it's Hanging Out with Bob. I'm your host, Bob Edholm. And my guest today is Wayne Damrow, who,
That's
like
me.
me, grew up in the same neighborhood, on the same block, in fact, in Columbia Heights, Minnesota, or the Heights for short. Okay, Wayne, next topic. You grew up in the Heights, went to school there, then to Anoka Ramsey, and then finished at the University of Minnesota in St. Paul after you earned your degree in forestry. Talk about some of the places where you've lived. Well, you kind of mentioned, but just talk a little bit more about the places you've lived elsewhere in Minnesota or elsewhere, I guess.
I've never lived anywhere but Minnesota.
It is? Okay, it's just Minnesota. Okay.
Yep. Well, those different towns where I worked.
Okay.
I mean, you have your house
You mentioned
there.
Brainerd and
Cambridge and
Alex.
St. Paul, and Willow River.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
And I liked all of them. I mean, they're all kind of
sure.
unique. The getting used to Willow River was the hardest, just because coming from Minneapolis to
Oh, yeah.
a town of 325, everybody knew me.
Yeah.
But then I got onto a baseball team, a softball, and we
fun.
went to state a couple times.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, Annie's Denim Bar.
Yep, sure.
The town of Denham is even smaller.
Not the denim material. You didn't wear like
No.
denim jeans when you played, or
Denham.
oh, okay. I think I've actually seen that.
It's
somewhere.
a little town about
Yeah.
6-7 miles west of Willow River.
Okay.
So we're talking nowhere.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. What position did you play when you played softball?
I was shortstop, and then
Wow.
when I moved to Brainerd, I got on with the softball team, and I was pitcher there.
Mm-hmm.
Slow pitch.
Yeah. Oh, of course. Yeah. Did you ever play a fast pitch game?
No,
I didn't either. My dad played that when I was a little kid, but we just didn't play it. They didn't have a league in the Heights. They played slow pitch, and they played for
Yeah.
maybe 20 years. But you had to drive somewhere to get in a fast pitch league. I don't even know where they played it in
I
Minnesota.
don't think I
but,
wanted to play
I don't
it
think I
anyway.
could get around fast
No.
enough. I mean, it's like from here to my patio window there where they're throwing to you. So, yeah, crazy. Okay. All right, again, the name of this podcast is Hanging Out with Bob. I'm your host, Bob at Home. And my guest today is Wayne Damrow, who, like me, grew up in the same neighborhood, on the same block, in fact, in Columbia Heights, Minnesota, or the Heights for short. It would not be an exaggeration, Wayne, to say that you've been quite the traveler, not just all over the U.S., but all over the world. And if you could just maybe talk about some of the places that you've been to, places that you really liked, as well as some of the places that you didn't like or were disappointed in. But just to give a flavor for where you've been.
Okay, well, I have 4 favorite places.
Okay.
Many places we've traveled, but my favorite is Lake Como in in Italy.
Yes. Yes.
Sì.
We stayed at a place for a while that was about 2 miles from where George Clooney's house was.
Sì.
Okay.
So we kept driving by, just not stalking, but just to see.
He never invited you in or anything?
No, he didn't. We were quite disappointed. But that was really, it's a neat area. If you get a chance, you should
Oh,
go.
the pictures are incredible. So.
Second was Germany.
Ja.
I'm doing genealogy on Ancestry, and a fourth cousin contacted me.
Oh, cool.
And, it's pretty distant relative. Well, he said, come on over. So we did.
Where in Germany does he live?
They lived in Berlin.
Berlin. Okay.
Yeah. And so he picked us up at the airport, and
That's so cool.
we spent 2 weeks driving around Germany with him. And so we went to Dresden, the Slaughterhouse
bombings.
5.
Yeah.
And but beautiful city, and all over Germany. It was really pretty neat.
Yeah, it is.
Then the next place that I really liked was Uruguay.
In South America?
South America,
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Sì.
Yeah, we combined that, was a work assignment where I wrote the fire prevention plan, the national one for them.
Oh, wow.
And
How'd you get that? It wasn't a lottery. I mean, just... who would like to write a fire prevention plan?
well, I was on the state fire prevention committee at the time.
Okay.
And they just were looking for someone to come. There's a program called Partners in the Americas.
Okay.
And each state is paired with a country in Central or South America.
Okay.
And Uruguay is Minnesota's partner.
I'll be darned.
And yeah, it's not a well-known thing,
Yeah, no.
but I'm not making it up.
No, I believe you. I believe you.
But anyways, they exchange in different things like food and farming and fire and forestry. And, it's kind of neat. Uruguay's different growing patterns compared to ours. They can grow a tree that's about 40 feet tall and 10 inches in diameter in 8 years. And here it'll take 40.
So they get a lot of rain and just warmer temperatures? Or?
Just different temperature.
Wow.
Perfect climate. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so they went into forestry. You heard of the Pampas in Argentina. Well, Uruguay also is part of that, but they're planting quite a bit of it up to commercial forestry. Anyways, that was really quite an experience.
Can I just real quick follow up on that, just for the sake of this is audio, and Uruguay is obviously in South America, but if I can picture in my mind a map of South America, where is Uruguay in relation to like Argentina or Chile or Brazil or?
Okay, Brazil, you know where that sits? Uruguay is right at the very southern tip of Brazil.
Oh.
And then you go about 100 miles or less, and then you're on Argentina.
So it's on the Atlantic side then?
Yes.
Uruguay, okay,
Yep.
okay.
Yep, and so the Argentinians like to vacation in Uruguay. And so where you get people, you get fire issues, and so that was one of the things we dealt with.
Is Uruguay like really mountainous or flat?
No, flat as a pancake.
Okay.
And some river valleys, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
What's the capital of Uruguay?
Montevideo.
Oh, okay.
Most people say Montevideo.
Right, like in Minnesota.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. They named their town after Montevideo, Minnesota, right?
Right, exactly.
Okay, Montevideo. Okay. Wow, I'm getting a geography lesson too. That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, in fact, in Uruguay, isn't that the team that the U.S. men's soccer team had to play in this Western? There was some kind of soccer competition just this past summer. It was some kind of cup. But it was just like Western Hemisphere teams. So the U.S. played, and they had to qualify, or they would have had to beat Uruguay in order to advance or something. They didn't. Uruguay, I guess everybody in Uruguay plays soccer. That's that's their sport,
Just one memory is I was walking down the street to the office and from the hotel, and I saw a big crowd of people hooting and hollering, and, it was all at a store, it looked like. So I went up and watched for a bit. Well, they were watching a soccer game that was like 10 years old.
Still getting excited.
And they were all just hooting and hollering. It was really pretty funny.
Oh, wow. They love their football.
They love their
so to
football.
speak. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
really
cool.
do.
That's so cool. All righty.
The other place I really like is Costa Rica.
Sí.
And there are several. So those are my 4 favorites.
I've heard that's right in the Caribbean, right?
Both.
Central America.
Yeah.
Yep. My brother was there last year for business. Really, Tom was there, and he said it was amazing.
Oh, it
Really nice hotel he stayed in. Outside there were monkeys.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he said it was just great. He really enjoyed it.
And we stayed at a mountain resort. There they have true mountains. And they had no screens on the window or anything. And about middle of the night, we heard the howler monkeys. Oh, my.
What kind of monkeys?
Howler.
Howler.
They howl.
Oh, HOWL.
Yes.
Okay. What do they sound like? Sound like cheetah or?
No. It's just a real distinct, ooh.
Wow.
And at 2 a.m, it's like,
Yeah, what the?
I'm going to die.
Oh, wild. That's a cool. Thanks for sharing those stories. Was there another one you wanted to mention?
No, those were the 4.
Okay, thanks. Well, that's good. I was hoping you'd just give me a flavor from the places you've seen and what you. Was there one place you went to that said, "Boy, this place wasn't as good as I thought it would be"?
I haven't run into that.
That's good.
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad you said it because when I went to Europe half a century ago, I can't say I was disappointed with any place I saw. It was so unique and a place I'd never been to, so I wasn't really disappointed.
Yeah.
So okay, great. Okay. Just a little bit more now. You've been retired for a few years now.
12.
Okay. Tell us what you do to fill your days now. I mean, I know you like to golf, and you still like to travel. Excuse me. So
Yeah, we're going to go to Spain here shortly.
Sí.
Nice.
And we still like to travel as long as we can. So,
yeah. As long as you're feeling good and can do it, you might as well take
Exactly.
advantage. So,
But what was the question?
well, how are you spending your retirement years?
Yeah, golfing. 4. Like I said, I was just starting to do genealogy work, family tree. I don't know, golfing.
Podcasts.
Yeah, well, Sure. Doesn't everybody work that in?
Yep.
And let's see, kind of drawing a blank here. Oh, gardening. I was 6 years on the board of directors for the State Horticultural Society.
That almost seems like a natural tie-in for you if you were in forestry. I mean, you like being outside and
Yep.
trees and plants and just looking to things, taking care of them, not getting overrun by weeds or just making
They're
stuff look,
overrun.
just making things look pretty, So.
Yeah. No, I've been pretty good gardener for many years. Both my grandmothers and my mom all were big gardeners.
Yep.
Now, Al, not a bit.
Well, I know that my mother liked gardening too, but she always said it was so relaxing. She just
That's
just
what I
was-
find.
Yeah, just you're really in touch with nature, so to speak. You're
Well, and you got the sun. And it's
yeah. It's a nice thing. That's a nice thing. Okay. Again, the name of this podcast is Hanging Out with Bob. I'm your host, Bob Edholm, and my guest today is Wayne Damrow, who, like me, grew up in the same neighborhood, on the same block, in fact, in Columbia Heights, Minnesota, or the Heights for short. Okay, Wayne, last topic for this podcast. Tell us about what your favorites were while you were growing up. Favorite TV shows, favorite teams you'd like to follow, favorite bands, type of music you listen to, radio stations, just to get a flavor.
Sure. Well, I listened to KQRS. I mean, that's kind of a given.
That was more like in high school, right? I mean, teenage years or like grade school,
And
the top
college,
40,
too.
the top 40 stations. Like, what were our top 40 stations back then?
WDGY.
Yep, Ouija.
1130.
Yep, and KDWB.
KDWB.
Did you have a transistor radio?
Yes.
I did. I had it by my ear
Yep.
at
Well,
night. I
that
fell
big.
asleep. Yep, about the size of our cell phones.
Yeah.
Maybe a little thicker with the 9-volt battery and just.
Yep.
That's how I really caught up on music. I'd have that at bed and I'd fall asleep at night, but that's where you'd hear the top 40 stuff. And
Sure.
So you went to Musicland and saw the top 40 list. You go, oh, I heard that last night.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and then every Sunday night, WDGY would play the entire full length of Inagata Davida.
By Iron Butterfly, for
Yes.
those not familiar with that. So, oh, wow. I remember that song. You had that album, didn't you? Or
Oh,
was it-
sure.
You were, yeah, okay. I didn't have it, but I just remember the song.
1960.
Late 60s, yeah. That sounds about right. Yeah.
One memory I have is going with my mother to watch fireworks. And so we were going to walk up to the top of the waterworks
Yes, yeah.
because it wasn't fenced in at the time.
Right.
And I had my transistor radio and they started playing Surfing Bird. My mom said, shut that.
Yeah.
Wasn't allowed to listen to Surfing Bird.
During the fireworks, especially.
If anybody wants to check that out, it's
Yep. Who was the band that did that? Surfing Bird.
the Trashmen.
Oh, a local band.
Yeah,
That's
it was
right.
local.
That's right. Yeah.
But they went national with it.
Yep.
Just like the Castaways.
Yep. With Liar Liar. Yes.
I remember seeing them at junior high school.
Yes. Yes. They played it in the gym, the girls' gym.
Yep.
I remember seeing it was like Saturday night. I thought, wow. But it's amazing because, Liar Liar was their hit song, but I can remember they were doing covers of Sgt. Pepper's.
right.
They're doing, A Day in the Life. And I
Some
thought,
pretty good stuff.
they had strobe lights and it was like psychedelic. Wow. Okay, talk about what were your favorite TV shows growing up besides Lunch with Casey? I just,
Yes, I won a case of Coke one time because I could shout the loudest. Willie Ketchum.
Sure, with Clancy.
Yeah,
Clancy
with
the
Clancy.
cop. Willie Ketchum.
Yeah,
Yep.
he was out telling, all right, we need everybody to scream and shout. And it was loud.
Did you ever go on any kid shows? When they had, the TV tapings or whatever.
Yeah, that was the only one.
Oh, that was one. Okay, because I was on a couple of those too. I remember growing up. That was. Oh, that's great. But like when we got a little older, what was like for you must see TV? Like you just had to watch. Because for the benefit of our younger listeners, most of us didn't have any kind of recording capabilities. You couldn't stream shows, so whenever the show was on, you had to watch it.
Yep.
Or you missed it. But like, what were like must see shows?
Well, they were black and white too.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
We didn't get a TV till I was like 5. And then it was black and white, of course.
Yep,
And
yep.
I thought, wow, that's terrific.
Yep, yep.
Little did we know.
Well, I was going to say one show I think that we all had to have, because that's how we learned a lot about pop culture, was Ed Sullivan on Sunday nights.
Absolutely.
I mean, the Beatles.
Sure.
You know, there are more people watching that than they'll be watching the debates. I mean, just, you know, because you
I
just
think
had to
it's
see
still
it.
the record
Yeah, it was.
show.
It changed. It had such an influence. So,
Yeah.
but any other TV shows that come to mind?
It was so many westerns at the time.
Yeah, there were Gunsmoke and
Yeah, a Maverick.
Maverick, right,
Yeah, there were so many of them.
Mm-hmm.
The Lone Ranger. I mean,
right.
who could
Hopalong
forget the
Cassidy. Well, I remember the show that was a big influence. I think we were probably out of high school or just finishing high school, but All in the Family.
Sure.
I mean, that was really, a breakthrough TV.
Controversy.
Yeah, it was. Every week they would talk about something that TV shows didn't talk about, so,
Sure.
yeah.
And shows like Miami Vice later,
Oh, right. I remember.
very influential.
Yep. Was there a comedy show that you think of that?
A Laugh-In,
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah.
That was
Goldie Hawn, and
Yeah,
all those people.
like a million jokes that cram into like 60 minutes,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
stuff. But I remember some of the situation comedies. I mean, they were fakey as heck, but I still liked them, like Hogan's Heroes, which is still on, by the way.
Is it really?
Oh yeah, there's some local nostalgia channels like MeTV.
Mm-hmm.
It's on every night. But I can remember, watching those in high school. Original.
Oh, sure, absolutely.
And I mean, like the fakiest premise of all, but it was
Petticoat Junction.
Petticoat Junction. yeah.
And Bewitched.
Yeah,
and,
Bewitched,
There were just that whole bunch of mediocre comedy.
Yeah, it's amazing what they had. But you didn't have a lot of choices.
No.
It was either you watch it or you didn't watch TV at all. Just.
Because who watched Channel 2?
I know. Unless you had to, like in school, they'd make us watch something. They'd pull the TV into the gym or in the classroom.
Mm-hmm.
You have to pretend like you were interested.
Well, exactly.
Good memories. So KQ was your radio station once you were like in high school.
Yeah.
Because they played the most progressive stuff and
And
at
it was
least
FM,
formatted.
so the sound was
Right.
better.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
That was a big deal at the
We
time.
didn't have stereo radio for most of our growing up till we got to high school. So
FM stands for
I used to.
frequency modulation.
Okay, well, what's AM?
Amplitude modulation.
Okay.
I think. Because I was going to be an electrical engineer at one point. And
right.
I took 1 year in calculus and drafting and all this in forestry.
Yeah. I want to get my fingernails dirty.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, good for you. All right, again, the name of this podcast is Hanging Out with Bob. I'm your host, Bob at Home, and my guest today is Wayne Damrow, who, like me, grew up in the same neighborhood, on the same block, in fact, in Columbia Heights, Minnesota, or the Heights for short. Well, this was fun, Wayne. It's fun to look back and reminisce, and thanks for being my friend for the last 60-plus years. I feel like we just scratched the surface, really. I mean, I just wanted listeners to kind of get a chance to know you a little bit about yourself and what you've done in your life. But what I really want to do down the road, I know we could do an entire podcast. I think I want to talk about the music that we listened to in high school or just for starters. And we can talk about our Minnesota sports teams, how they've broken our hearts for most of the 70-plus years we've been alive. And anyway, there's a lot of things we can talk about. So thanks again for being with me today.
Yeah, I was glad to do it. This was fun.
Yep. And when you've got some period between your world travels, we'll set up something so we can get together again.
We will do that.
Okay. Everyone has a story to tell, and I believe most people like to tell their stories, to talk about the things they like to do, the things that interest them, the things they've done, the places they've seen. They just need to hang out with someone like me so they can be asked those kinds of questions, right? I have so many people in mind that I want to have on as future guests. Today, I was privileged to have my longtime friend Wayne Damrow join me in my palatial podcast studio. I'm using air quotes when I say palatial, but I have family, friends, people I grew up with, people I've worked with, people I've had lunch with or drunk beers with that I hope to get together with for future podcasts. So many people to talk to, Wayne, so little time.
Yep.
And to our listeners, again, thanks for hanging out with me, Bob Edholm, and again, thanks to my guest today, Wayne Damrow. We hope you'll be with us for our next episode of Hanging Out with Bob. And until then, bye.